Okay, here's an important lesson we're going to do today. It isn't particularly hard. It's calculating slope. Okay? Here's what it means. It says calculate the slope of the lines with the given points. So 4, 2, and 6, 8. Now don't worry about graphing it. Just watch me. So 4, 2, and 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to connect those. And let's look at those points. So I have to go straight up and then to the right. Now look at what I just did. How many squares did I go up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. And then I went 1, 2 to the right, so 2 squares to the right. So the slope is 6 over 2. It's rise over run. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now, I don't expect you to graph all those, so to find the line slope, you need a formula. It's called y minus y divided by x minus x. So that's x and that's y. That's x, that's y. Okay, so let's look at our y's. I've got 2 and 8. We can go 2 minus 8 or 8 minus 2. It doesn't matter. I'll go 8 minus 2. But then if I go in that order, I need to go 6 minus 4. So that's 6, that's 2, and that equals 3. Okay, next problem. So I take y minus, I set up your minuses right away. So on one side you have your, on the top you have your y's. You got to have your y's on top. So negative 5 minus 0. And then if I do that, I got to take 2 minus negative 3. Now if you're minusing a negative, you need to make that plus plus. Negative 5 minus 0 is negative 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now we divide negative 5 by 5, that equals negative 1. Okay, and then the next thing's kind of the same way. So minus over minus, and then the y's have to be on top. I can do 3, I'll do 3 minus 10, just because I want to. And then if I do 3 minus 10, I got to do negative 5 and negative 8. That minus negative, you make plus plus. So 3 minus 10 is negative 7. Negative 5 plus positive 8 is going to be 3. Okay. Negative 7 divided by 3 is negative 2.3 repeating. Now, if I get a decimal, I'm actually going to circle both of those because they're both represent slopes. So y, I've got 4 and 1, so 4 minus 1, and then 9 minus 0. 3 and 9, so 3 divided by 9 is 0.3 repeating. Okay. The y's go from 5 to 10, so 10 minus 5. And then if I do that, I need to do negative 2, negative 2. Minus negative is plus plus. 10 minus 5 is 5. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. Now, if you get a 0, you need to divide on your calculator. Okay, it says error. That means the slope is undefined. That means it's one of those lines that looks like, that looks like this, goes straight up and down, because there is no run. Okay, 6 negative 4, 4 negative 4, so xy, xy. So my y's, I'll be taking minus minus, negative 4 minus negative 4, And then if I do, I guess it doesn't matter, I'll go 6 minus 4. So the minus negative is plus plus. So that's 0 over 2. Now if you get a 0, divide on your calculator. 0 divided by 2 is 0. So that means when you get a slope of 0, it's one of those lines that looks like this, just goes straight across. Undefined means the line goes straight up and down. 0 means it goes straight across. Okay. Y here. So minus, and we're going to put 7 and 2, and then 7 and 1. So 5 over 6. Let's divide that. That's going to be a decimal. 0.83 repeating. So if I get a decimal, I'm going to circle both of those. Because you never know if I'm going to have to use the fraction or the decimal. My y's, 4 minus 0, 3 minus negative 5, but when I'm subtracting a negative, I got to go plus plus. So 4 over 8, 4 divided by 8 is 0.5. Okay. Next. So my y's, I have 1 and 3. You can go 1 minus 3 or 3 minus 1. If you do 3 minus 1, you got to go negative 5 minus 3. So that's 2. Negative 5 minus 3 is negative 8. 2 divided by negative 8 is negative 0.25. Okay, again, if I get a decimal, we want to circle both of them, the fraction and the decimal. Okay. The y's, negative 4 and negative 2, so negative 2 and then negative 4. Plus plus, and if I go that way, I got to go negative 5 and 1. So negative 2 plus 4 is 2. Negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6. So 2 divided by negative 6 is negative 0.3 repeating. And both those are acceptable answers. Okay, so those are my y's. So negative 6, and negative 2, negative 6, and negative 2. And that is going to give me negative 4 and negative 4, so that equals 1. Just circle 1. You don't need the fraction if we didn't get a decimal. Okay, now why would somebody ever need to know this stuff? This is why. Water's draining from a pool. After 5 minutes of draining, the water holds 800 gallons. After 12 minutes of draining, it holds 450 gallons of water. Calculate the rate of change in gallons per minute. So my answer is gallons per minute. Now, we've had these problems in the past. We can take the gallons divided by the minutes, but I have two sets of numbers. Now, if these are the same, that's awesome, and that's my answer. So 800 divided by 5 is 160. 450 divided by 12 is 37.5. Well, what the heck? Okay. The heck's up with that? Think about it. When we get different answers, there's a reason for that. It's because this is not direct variation. Okay? X would be minutes, Y would be gallons. And at 0 minutes, since the gallons are going down, at 0 minutes these gallons started somewhere. I don't know where, and today I don't need to know where, but they started somewhere, okay? They started high, because if you haven't drained it for any minutes, the gallons did not start at 0. They started at a higher amount, okay? Because they're going down. It had to start somewhere when it goes down. So if those two are inconsistent with each other, you got to take y minus y, x minus x. The x needs to be on bottom, the minutes do. So we're going to take 12 minus 5. Now how many gallons go with 12? It's 450 minus 800. So 450 minus 800 is negative 350 and 7. So if I divide that, I get negative 50. And that's your gallons per minute. Okay? So basically, make a long story short, if those two are inconsistent with each other, we need to use this. Remember to put your time on bottom. Okay? Next. Internet service charges a one-time installation amount and a cost for each month. After 5 months of installation, the user is paid $220. That includes the installation amount. After 10 months, they paid $370, which includes installation. Cost per month, so dollars per month is the answer. That's your rate of change. Well, if I take the dollars divided by the months, and the dollars divided by the months, 220 divided by 5 is $44. And 370 divided by 10 is 37. Not consistent. And the reason they're not consistent is because at 0 months, you had to pay this installation amount. You don't know it, and you don't need to know it, but you know it's not 0, okay? You had to pay something. So the way to deal with that is to use y minus y divided by x minus x. So the y is, again, we need to replace our x's. X is time, so the month, so we're going to go 10 minus 5. And then 370 minus 220. 150 over 5, and that equals 30. 150 divided by 5 is 30, so $30 per month. Okay, guys, that's all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you next time.